Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Is it good evening? Sort of good afternoon still.
I hope you can help me with my inquiries.
Okay.
I'm here asking about Sergeant Cork, madam. Perhaps you could tell me a bit about Sergeant Cork.
Sergeant Cork. We watched a couple of episodes.
You weren't expecting that,
I wasn't
were you?
expecting that, no. We watched a couple of episodes of the Series 5 disc, which has only 4 stories on.
Mm-hmm.
We'd already watched the first one, the case of Albert Watson VC.
Mm-hmm.
And
what did we watch last night?
But last night we watched The Case of the Painted Boat and The Case of the Simple Savage.
Now, Sergeant Cork, and again, although we have talked about Sergeant Cork on the podcast, not everyone would have seen or even heard that. They certainly won't have seen it.
No.
So, whom is Sergeant Cork and who's the other chap?
He's a detective.
You better hold it up again.
In the CID department of the Metropolitan Police at Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard?
Not New Scotland Yard.
No.
Probably New Scotland Yard for about 80 years or so. But yes, he's a detective in the fledgling department of the CID. And
is he quite sciencey?
He's getting there. They don't really do fingerprints.
I was going to say,
yet.
fingerprints and photography are just coming in.
They're just coming in. Well, we'll be not coming in for another few years yet. But he's very keen. He likes to get his man to Sergeant Cork. And the chap to his left is Detective Marriott. Mm-hmm. Detective Constable, I suppose he would be. Yeah. And he's played by William Gaunt, and Sergeant Cork is played by John Barry.
Now, it's a show set in, what, the 1890s?
1890s, yes.
So it's late Queen Victoria.
Late Victorian.
But made in the 1960s.
Yes.
And created by Ted Willis of Dixon of Dock Green fame.
Yes. And it's got very liberal values.
And I was going to say, is it fair to say the values that Sergeant Cork stands for are ones that would chime with a modern audience?
Sergeant Cork has very modern day sensibilities.
Yeah.
He always likes to get his man.
Mm-hmm. Or woman.
And he doesn't care what part of society they come from. He has no time for
people using their influence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
To escape the law.
He gets terribly annoyed if people
just because you're a sir or a lord.
Yes, doesn't mean you should be able to
same.
Shouldn't be able to go murder if that is what's happened.
And I think it's fair to say that Ted Willis episodes especially have a moral point to make.
You can definitely tell when it's usually a Ted Willis episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
But let's go through the couple of ones that we've seen. So first of all, what was it? The Painted Boat.
The Painted Boat. And it starts out with...
Actually, open the thing.
A maid coming into a room and she sees a dead body.
Well, shall I read it out?
Yes.
A young servant, fleeing in terror, reports seeing a body in a spare room, and Sergeant Cork finds that a painted boat leads to a monstrous case of baby farming. And what else? With Avis Bunnage, I don't know her.
I did recognise her.
All right. John Junkin and Harold Goldblatt.
Yes.
Harold Goldblatt, who's the professor in Frontier in Space on the moon.
Yes. He's playing a sea captain here, so there's a little bit of colour in this episode.
Written by Evelyn Ford, directed by Philip Dale, original ITV transmission 30th of July 1966. Now, we put off watching this one because we thought it was going to be really, really grim.
Yes. Well, we should say, we watched the first episode, excuse me, on this set, which is the case of Albert Watson VC.
Yeah.
And that was really dark. In fact, that was so dark that after we watched it, we watched 3 episodes of Mind Your Language.
Just to cheer us up.
So we looked at some sort of synopsis for the next one. I went, oh God, that looks quite
baby
dark.
farming.
Yeah, and sort of put it on a pile and it got buried.
When you say baby farming, do you know what comes into my head? There was a very early edition of 2000 AD. And there was a Judge Dredd story, and I think it was the picture on the front. And there was this old woman in Mega City 1 who was growing hypnotic heads.
Right.
So she had like an allotment on the top of where she lived, and there was a load of heads that sang. And I imagine baby farming is like you're growing babies, because in baby grows, like grow bags. Yes. Or something like that, but that's just my weird imagination.
Yes. It's not that. What it is?
It's not that at all. But
baby farming it's basically the idea that in a time where there are no social services to take a baby off of a mother who's not able to bring the child up or doesn't want to bring the child up. So the idea is the mothers pay this couple to take the babies and find them a nice home.
Yeah.
Now there is a real case from around this time of Amelia Dyer.
Yeah.
And it's on the Lady Killers disc that's sitting over there.
Right.
And she took the babies, took the money, and then killed the babies and sort of chucked them in the canal and stuff.
But we open with the sea captain. He's doing some astronomy.
He's doing some astronomy, yes.
And he's got a stuffed monkey as well.
He's got a stuffed monkey just because, you know.
And he's just sort of talking to himself and bumbling around, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's a really great performance.
But then his telescope sort of slips, doesn't it? And he sees something going on in the garden.
Next door.
Somebody burying something.
Yes. Digging a grave, as he thinks.
That's what he thought.
Yes. So when the maid turns up the next morning saying she's seen a dead body, he puts two and two together and decides to go to Scotland Yard and find a detective.
But Sergeant Cork doesn't want anything to do with him, does he? He's pretending...
he's pretending he's not Sergeant Cork.
Yeah, because he comes in, I want to see Sergeant Cork.
Oh, he's not here.
And... he's not here. And then, what is that? There's a phone call from the Assistant Commissioner, and Marriott takes it.
Marriott has to lie and go, he's not here at the moment, sir. So.
And then sort of Cork has to admit that he's really...
Well, it's because the Chalky, who's like the caretaker, I suppose.
He makes the tea a lot.
Makes the tea and does other things, comes in and says, all right, Sergeant Cork, you want a cup of tea? And you can see him sort of rolling his eyes and going, oh, God.
But yeah, that's the great thing. Although this series does deal with very dark themes sometimes, there's a lot of humour in it as well. And I like the balance that they achieve. And, you know, you can have some damn weird episodes as well. We'll talk about
the next one.
That in a minute.
Yes.
But yeah, for what we thought was going to be a very grim story,
it wasn't as bad as I thought.
It was a lot more watchable.
It was.
The bit where the maid gets the strap or whatever
that was quite nasty.
That's nasty.
Yes.
It's not really shown because you can't really show it, but it's implied, isn't it? And she gets locked in the cupboard.
Yeah.
And what was it? They're making like a mixture of opium and something.
And sort of baby feeding powder to keep the babies quiet.
Yeah.
Because one of the last shots of the episode is Sergeant Cork pulling, because he says, "Oh, there's some babies in the drawer," and you go, they've not put babies in the drawer, and he pulls the drawer open, and there's two babies in the drawer dressed in Victorian clothes.
What was the comedy show with Chris Berry with the babies in the drawer?
That's the British Empire.
That was filmed around here, wasn't it?
Yes, I can't remember what her character's name is.
But she kept
her baby in the drawer.
I just thought of that at that point.
Yeah. But the last shot is him because there's one of the babies is crying, the other one's just laying there, and he picks the quiet one up and takes it off.
He doesn't want anything to do with the noise.
Well, obviously you can't pick it up at the same time.
But he gets really angry.
He gets really angry, and it's great. I love it when it gets like this because it's the righteous force of the law.
Moral passion.
Yes. Yeah. You know, he is the. Well, go back to Judge Dredd. He is the law.
Yeah.
And he is the force of the law.
Sergeant Cork is the law.
Yeah. So and
with his helmet on.
You know, he is prepared. Not to defer to anybody, just because
Okay. So yeah, good, solid episode, and we'd not, as we said, we'd not done Sergeant Cork for quite some time.
Yeah. But Martin Holmes has been doing it. Yeah,
so
he sort of think,
he's got ahead of us now.
Yes.
So after having done that one, it was 8:20, and I said, we got time to do another one, haven't we? Yeah. So we then did
The Case of the Simple Savage.
Oh, I better get the disc out. That's all right. I can hold the disc. That's it. Holding it on the edge, folks. That's the right way to hold discs. The case of the Simple Savage. A Maori leader, accompanied by his daughter and a dubious clergyman, comes to London to be presented to the Queen. He has an obsession with searching for the mana, the secret of a white man's prestige, and this he apparently does. Starring Inia Wiata, Blake Butler, Philip Latham, Madeline Christie and Dorothy Reynolds. Written by Bruce Stewart, directed by Bill Stewart.
Yeah.
Original transmission 3rd of September 1966.
These are all completely out of order. They're doing it again. I don't know who network does this. I think they just do it to be awkward. They've put them in the order they were made. Yeah,
because you've got 25th of June, 30th of July, 3rd of September, 1st of October.
Yes.
Because we're now into the period where it's got a new title sequence and theme arrangement, haven't we? So we'll put that out.
Yes.
But yeah, this was quite weird.
This was very weird.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, points for the actor.
Yes, points for actually getting an actor who was actually born in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And is a Maori.
Yeah.
Not blacking somebody
It's
up.
not Philip Sav. What am I talking about? It's not Peter Sallis with with lines all over his face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Peter Sallis...
I think maybe somebody looked at that and went...
Maybe we shouldn't
have done that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that on another occasion. But if you think Talons of Weng Chiang is bad, you should see Peter Sallis being a Chinaman. Yeah. Can you even say Chinaman? I'm not sure you can.
I don't know if you can, no.
Okay. But moving on. It's what I'd call this is a Cork light episode, isn't it? And you do get them.
He's gone on holiday.
Because the relentless production schedule...
Yeah. And John Barry's...
means that there's an awful lot on John Barry's back, isn't
and he's not that old at this point, but he was born in about 1917, so he's not getting any younger either. No. So yeah.
Because he's in Z Cars a bit later, isn't he? We've not seen any of his...
I don't know if any of it much of it exists.
I think there is some, yeah.
Well, it's not been released.
But yeah, the sort of Maori king comes to stay, and he's going to be presented to Queen Victoria.
To try and avoid him claiming back land.
It's land claims,
that the British have taken.
And there's the possibility that his people are going to sort of have an armed uprising, isn't it? So this clergyman that's with him, he's not really a clergyman, is he?
No.
And he's familiar to Cork, isn't he?
Is.
When Cork comes in towards the end, he recognises the name.
Yes.
But there's all this stuff with, and it did remind me a bit of like Leela, with Professor Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Where he's drinking the wine from the
decanter.
From the decanter rather than the glass,
because the glass is too small.
And stuff like. And to be honest, I agree with him on that front. I'd much rather have the bottle of wine. This glass is far too small. But it's the bit when is it because it's Philip Latham playing the clergyman? Yeah. He's got a table and he's drumming on it.
He's drumming on the table, yeah.
Yeah, and I never thought I'd see that from Philip Latham. And then when he's got all the robes on and he's breaking into the bank and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's quite strange. But again, I that's the thing. You start watching this episode and you think, oh, this is going to be a bit uncomfortable, isn't it?
And it's not really. It's quite lightly done.
Yeah, I mean, the princess, his daughter, takes a shine to
Marriott
and wants him to come back to
New Zealand and be a prince.
And he thinks he wouldn't be a very good prince.
No, I don't have the bearing.
But there's a lot of stuff with the king chasing the servant girls around and stuff like that and breaking stuff.
Yes.
But then he sort of nicks all this like silverware and stuff, doesn't he?
Because he thinks that all this ornamental stuff gives him prestige.
Yeah. But there's also money going missing as well.
But he says he hasn't stolen the money because they don't have money.
Yeah, because to him money is nothing.
They barter pigs.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's entirely honest about it. That's the thing, isn't it? He said, well, yes, I did take those things, but I didn't do that. And so it would have been interesting because Cork doesn't come into it much before that.
No.
Because the chap he's staying with wants to write checks to cover everything, doesn't he? Because the whole point is that it should be sort of hushed up and sort
because
of,
obviously
they keep the lid on it.
He's going to meet Queen Victoria, and if he gets arrested, he can't meet Queen Victoria, and then the whole thing falls apart.
And astonishingly, we do actually see Queen Victoria in this episode.
We do. We do.
You knew that was going to happen.
Well, there's a picture.
There's a picture of her.
There's a picture of somebody dressed as Queen Victoria on the back. So yes.
Yeah, but obviously Cork isn't important enough to meet
Sergeant Cork.
To meet the Queen.
To meet Sergeant Cork. To meet Queen Victoria.
To meet the Queen. Not even who's his boss? Charles.
Superintendent.
Was it Rodway?
Rodway, yes.
Yeah, but who is it? Charles
Morgan.
From Abominable Snowmen, isn't it? Yeah. Because he's very Welsh, isn't he?
He's great. He's great. I love his character. Because although he's a superintendent and he should be telling Cork what not to do, he lets him get on with it mostly.
Yeah, because he knows he's
really
good.
Steps out of line. He just lets him get on with it because he knows he'll get a result.
But yes, a somewhat odd episode. Not the weirdest one, I would say, but certainly edging towards the strange.
And it was interesting to see Queen Victoria.
How do you think Cork would have been with her? Do you think?
I think he would have been very respectful.
But do you think if Cork ever had to investigate the royal household, do you think some sparks would fly?
Yes, some sparks would certainly fly. I'd certainly get on some people's nerves.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, on the podcast we talk about the one where he's at the Lord, whoever he is, at the stately home, isn't it, in Wiltshire? And yeah, he's not putting up any any
he
nonsense.
He won't come in the back door. He comes in the front door every time.
Yeah.
Because he's not a servant. He's like, well, I'm here to do a job. I'm going to come in the front door. That's the easiest way.
But yeah, if you've not seen Sergeant Cork,
we really heavily advise you to
and
watch
again,
this.
Brilliant for guest stars, isn't it? You know,
this one's the next episode which we may watch later has got Windsor Davis in it.
All right, okay.
So,
but what are the ones with Harrison Chase in? What's his name?
Oh, Tony Beckley. Oh God, he's in 2, and in the second one we didn't even recognise it was him until the end credits.
Yeah,
because he was playing it so
unlike you'd
expect him to play it. Yeah.
So
the first time we saw him in it, it was quite a sort of. It wasn't obviously like a Harrison Chase kind of thing, but it was quite familiar. He had the sort of slightly fey voice. In the second one, he's playing a real hard nut, and I truly didn't recognise it was him till I saw his name on the end credits. And we had to wind back and go, oh God, it is him! Yeah, because that's the one with Leslie Dwyer in as well, I think.
Was there a Trevor Bannister one as well? I seem to remember that.
Bannister.
That we couldn't remember. We didn't recognise that. I vaguely seem to recall. I might have made that up. I don't know. But yeah, great series. Yes. Well worth a look.
Yeah, got to dig out the next one now.
And yeah, there's only one more left on this.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the one with the car.
Oh right, okay.
Which I've already described as the Corkmobile.
The Corkmobile, like the Batmobile.
Because I was 2 mile an hour chase. You think like Dixon and Doc Green has slow car chases. Because I was very pleased to find a colour photo of it the other day, and I put that out and it's the Corkmobile in colour. Not that it's very colourful, but
no.
It looks just like a sewing machine or something. It's one of those really, really old
I love old cars. Yeah.
But yeah, great series, and I would
and more people should watch it.
I think they should. Yeah,
you really would enjoy it.
I'd really wish some satellite channel
It'd
was
be Talking Pictures TV.
brave enough to put it on.
Talking Pictures TV.
Hello, Talking Pictures TV. Why not put on Sergeant Cork?
You showed The Human Jungle. That's black and white.
It all exists and it's brilliant.
It's brilliant. Please show it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.